For over 25 years, one question has haunted the minds of One Piece fans around the world. What exactly is the One Piece? This legendary treasure that Gol D discovered at Laugh Tale has been the driving force behind the entire series. Yet, its true nature remains shrouded in mystery. What if I told you that the One Piece isn't just gold and jewels? What if it's something so profound, so world-changing, that it made the Pirate King himself laugh when he found it? Something worth dying for? Today, we're diving deep into the most compelling evidence and theories about what the One Piece truly is, and how it connects Joy Boy, Laugh Tale, and the ancient weapons in ways you might never have considered. Title: Card. The true meaning of One Piece, the secret connection between Joy Boy, Laugh Tale, and the ancient weapons. Before we begin this journey, make sure to subscribe to One Piece Secrets for more mind-blowing theories that will change how you see the series forever. Now let's uncover the truth that's been hidden for 800 years. Let's start with what we actually know for certain about the One Piece treasure. First and foremost, Eiichiro Oda has confirmed multiple times that the One Piece is a physical, tangible treasure, not something abstract like the journey or friendship. During a 2016 interview, when asked if the One Piece would be something like the bonds of friendship, Oda laughed and said he would never use such a cliché ending after making fans follow the series for so long. We also know that the One Piece is located at Laugh Tale, the final island of the Grand Line, which can only be reached by following the 4 road poneglyphs. Roger and his crew discovered it 22 years before the current storyline, and their reaction was unexpected. They laughed. The entire crew burst into laughter upon seeing the treasure. This is crucial. Whatever the One Piece is, it was somehow amusing or ironic enough to make hardened pirates laugh uncontrollably. As Odin wrote in his journal, "On that day we reached the final island, we learned everything in this world." Another important clue comes from the Japanese name of the treasure. In Japanese, One Piece is written as Hitotsunagi no Daihihu, which roughly translates to the great hidden treasure that connects as one. This etymology is significant. The treasure somehow connects things. Finally, we have Whitebeard's dying words. The one who finds that treasure will turn the world upside down. Whatever the One Piece is, it has the power to completely reshape the world order. These are our established facts. Now let's explore the key players in this mystery. To understand the One Piece, we must first understand Joy Boy, the mysterious figure from 800 years ago whose shadow looms large over the entire series. Based on what we've learned throughout the manga, Joy Boy was likely a pirate who lived during the Void Century. Like Luffy, he traveled the world and formed alliances with many different races, including fishmen, minks, and possibly giants and lunarians. These races all share one common symbol in their flags and emblems: the sun. Joy Boy eventually founded what's referred to as the Ancient Kingdom, a civilization of immense proportions. But here's the interesting part. This kingdom wasn't necessarily large in physical size. Rather, its greatness came from the alliances it formed around the world. It was essentially a global network of allied nations and races. Joy Boy had a specific vision. He wanted all races to live under the same sun, free from discrimination and oppression. This vision was referred to as the dawn of the world, a new era where everyone would be free to adventure. The Romance Dawn. However, Joy Boy failed to fulfill a promise he made to the original Poseidon, the mermaid princess of his era. This promise was likely related to bringing Fishman Island to the surface so that fishmen and merfolk could live alongside other races. But something went wrong. The ancient kingdom was defeated by an alliance of 20 kingdoms, which would later form the world government. These kingdoms erased all records of the Void Century, except for the indestructible poneglyphs created by the people of Wano. Here's where it gets interesting. When Roger reached Laugh Tale, he discovered that he was too early to fulfill Joy Boy's plan. Why? Because the mermaid princess Poseidon is only reborn every several hundred years. The same term used to describe the 800-year gap between the void century and the present. Roger arrived before Shirahoshi, the current Poseidon, was born. This suggests that Joy Boy's plan, and by extension the One Piece itself, requires specific timing and specific people to be realized. The ancient weapons are three immensely powerful entities that are frequently mentioned in connection with the Void Century and the One Piece. Pluton is a massive warship capable of destroying entire islands with a single strike. The blueprints for this ship were kept in Water 7 for generations, with the shipwrights passing them down to protect the world from its power. Poseidon is not a weapon in the traditional sense, but the ability to command sea kings, the massive sea monsters that inhabit the calm belts. This power is reborn in the mermaid princess every several hundred years, with Shirahoshi being the current incarnation. Uranus remains largely a mystery, though many speculate it might be related to weather control or even celestial bodies. Given the naming pattern of the weapons after planetary gods, these weapons are described as having the power to bring destruction to the world. But what if this destruction isn't meant in the way we typically think? What if, instead of being weapons of war, they were designed for a different kind of destruction, the destruction of the world's current physical structure? Consider this. Pluton could destroy the Red Line, the massive continent that divides the world. Poseidon could command the sea kings to control the ocean currents and calm belts. And Uranus, whatever it may be, could complete this transformation of the world's geography. This leads us to our first major theory about what the One Piece truly is. One of the most compelling theories about the One Piece is that it's not just a treasure, but a plan, specifically a plan to destroy the Red Line and unite all the world's oceans. The Red Line is the massive continent that circles the globe, dividing the four blues and creating the Grand Line. At 2 points, it intersects with the Grand Line at Reverse Mountain, where the four blues meet, and at Mariajois, the holy land of the world government, which sits directly above Fishman Island. If these two sections of the Red Line were destroyed, several monumental changes would occur. First, the four blues would be connected, creating the legendary All Blue that Sanji dreams of, a sea where fish from all oceans swim together. Second, the destruction of the section above Fishman Island would allow the island's inhabitants to move to the surface, fulfilling Joy Boy's ancient promise to the original Poseidon. Third, Mariajois, the seat of the world government's power, would be destroyed, toppling the current world order. This theory perfectly aligns with the Japanese name of the treasure, Hitotsunagi, or connecting as one. It would literally connect the world's oceans into one sea. It also explains why Roger and his crew laughed. They discovered that the legendary treasure they had been seeking wasn't gold or jewels, but a plan to reshape the world itself. A plan that aligned perfectly with Roger's own values of freedom and adventure. But there's more to the One Piece than just this plan. Let's explore another major theory. Many believe that the One Piece includes the complete, unaltered history of the world, specifically the truth about the Void Century and the founding of the world government. Throughout the series, we've seen the world government go to extreme lengths to suppress information about the Void Century. They've outlawed the study of poneglyphs, hunted down scholars from O'Hara, and even committed genocide to keep this history hidden. What could be so dangerous about this knowledge? What if the truth is that the 20 kingdoms that formed the world government weren't heroes who saved the world from the ancient kingdom, but conquerors who destroyed a peaceful civilization to seize power. What if the D clan, the mysterious family that includes Luffy, Roger, and many others, are the descendants of the ancient kingdom, carrying on their will through the centuries? This knowledge alone would be enough to destabilize the world government's authority, which is built on the lie of their righteous founding. It would turn the world upside down, just as Whitebeard predicted. But there's yet another layer to this mystery, one that takes us beyond our world entirely. One of the most fascinating side stories in One Piece is Enel's cover story, where he travels to the moon and discovers an ancient civilization. The moon in One Piece once housed an advanced civilization that later migrated to Earth when resources on the moon became scarce. The descendants of these moon people include the Scipians, Shandorians, and Burkans, all races with wings. But what if they weren't the only ones? What if other races like the Minks with their electro abilities, or the Lunarians with their fire powers, also have lunar origins? This leads to an intriguing theory. What if the One Piece includes technology or knowledge from this ancient lunar civilization? Perhaps even a spaceship or the means to return to the moon. This would explain the strange advanced technology we've seen throughout the series, like the Pluton warship or the bizarre machines on Vegapunk's island. It would also connect to the theme of freedom that runs throughout One Piece. What greater freedom could there be than the ability to explore beyond the confines of the planet itself? This theory might seem far-fetched, but remember, One Piece is a series where islands in the sky exist, where people can stretch like rubber or turn into fire, where giant elephants carry islands on their backs. A connection to the moon isn't outside the realm of possibility. Our final major theory brings us back to Joy Boy's original vision, the unification of all races under the same sun. Throughout One Piece, we've seen countless examples of racial discrimination and segregation. Fishmen and merfolk are confined beneath the ocean, facing hatred when they venture to the surface. The Minks live in isolation on Zoo. The Lunarians were nearly wiped out. What if the One Piece is a means to end this separation? A way to fulfill Joy Boy's dream of a world where all races live together in harmony. This would align with Luffy's character perfectly. Remember his dream that he shared with Ace and Sabo as a child, the same dream that Roger shared with Whitebeard and Odin. Many speculate that this dream is to throw the biggest party in the world, where everyone from every race and nation can come together and celebrate. This theory also explains why so many races have the sun as their symbol. They're all waiting for the dawn, the day when Joy Boy's successor brings them all together under the same sun. What if all these theories aren't mutually exclusive? What if the One Piece is all of these things combined? Imagine this. The One Piece is a comprehensive plan left by Joy Boy, containing the true history of the world, revealing the lies of the world government, the means to destroy the Red Line and unite the ocean. Ancient lunar technology that will help accomplish this goal. A vision for a unified world where all races live together in freedom. This would explain why Roger laughed. He discovered that the legendary treasure was actually a plan to completely reshape the world, both physically and politically. A plan so audacious, so perfect in its conception, that it struck him as hilariously ironic. It would also explain why Roger was too early. The plan requires Poseidon, Shirahoshi, who wasn't born in Roger's time. It also requires someone with the will and ability to unite people across racial and national boundaries, someone like Luffy. This comprehensive theory aligns with everything we know about the One Piece, Joy Boy, and the themes of the series itself. As One Piece enters its final saga, we're getting closer than ever to the revelation of the One Piece treasure. But what will happen when it's finally found? Based on our theory, The discovery of the One Piece will trigger a chain of events that will completely transform the world. The truth about the Void Century will be revealed, delegitimizing the world government. The ancient weapons will be used to destroy the Red Line, uniting the oceans. All races will finally be able to live together under the same Sun 4. A new era of true freedom will begin. The dawn that Joy Boy promised. This will, of course, not happen without resistance. The world government, particularly the Five Elders and Im, will do everything in their power to prevent this change. This is the great war that will engulf the world that Whitebeard spoke of. Luffy and his allies, not just the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, but representatives from every race and nation that Luffy has helped throughout his journey, will stand against the full might of the world government in a final, climactic battle for the future of the world. And when the dust settles, a new world will emerge, one where the artificial boundaries between people have been torn down, where the seas are united, and where everyone is free to pursue their dreams. This is the true meaning of the One Piece. Not just a treasure, but a new world. A world of freedom, adventure, and unity. The world that Joy Boy envisioned 800 years ago, and that Luffy will finally bring into reality. As we've seen, the One Piece is likely far more than just a pile of gold or a powerful weapon. It's a comprehensive plan to reshape the world itself, physically, politically, and socially. This theory aligns perfectly with the themes that have run throughout the entire series. Freedom, inherited will, and the dawn of a new era. It explains why Roger laughed, why he was too early, and why finding the One Piece will turn the world upside down. Most importantly, it gives profound meaning to Luffy's journey. He's not just seeking treasure for personal gain. He's unknowingly carrying on Joy Boy's will, working toward a revolution that will free the entire world. As we approach the final chapters of this epic saga, one thing is certain. When the One Piece is finally revealed, it will be worth a 25-year wait. What do you think? Is the One Piece a plan to destroy the Red Line, the true history of the world, ancient lunar technology, or something else entirely? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into One Piece lore, make sure to like this video, subscribe to One Piece Secrets, and hit the notification bell to never miss our upcoming theories. Next week, we'll be exploring the true identity of Joy Boy and his connection to Luffy, so you won't want to miss it. This is One Piece Secrets, uncovering the mysteries that others miss. Until next time, keep searching for the truth hidden in plain sight.